What's up everyone, this is Platinum Howler 14, bringing you guys an epic ION Championship set against Zero, the league champion. This is going to be slightly different from what I've done in previous weeks because the championship is played best of 3 style, so I'll have at least 2 videos to post-commentate. This video will be looking at the first game only, and the rest of the set will follow. Now, for this set, I did something that I've never done before, and that is use a team built by someone other than myself. I tend to like to make the teams that I build to be mixed OU, just because it's more fun to play with less than standard Pokemon. But for this set against Zero, I felt it was absolutely necessary to bring a solid team built by an established player, one of my favorite Poketubers, Mega Mogwai, coach of the Season 4 GBA champs, the Real Maril. A link to his analysis of this team will be in the description below. The only difference between his team and this team that I brought is that my Bisharp has Swords Dance instead of Pursuit. So on to the battle now. My goal for this set was to prove to Zero that I am indeed his stiffest competition in this league. But when I saw his team for the first time, I loved my matchup. My offensive core being Mega Sceptile and Choice Banded Victini switch into his Rotom Wash and Sylveon extremely well and proceed to get massive damage off on most of his team. Because of that, I thought I had a very good chance at winning 2 out of 3. One thing that I must be wary of, however, is locking myself into V-Create with Victini, because that gives Megazard X, I am going to confirm for you right now that it is Megazard X and not Y, free reign to Dragon Dance all over me. My only real check in that case would be my Impish Lando T, so I must keep that thing healthy. Alright, time to start the battles. Buckle your seatbelts and enjoy. I'm going to decide to lead with my Keldeo in this first game because I'm fearing the potential Choice Scarf's Landorus lead that would be able to hit my Sceptile with a U-turn because that would be the only thing on his team that would be able to outspeed my Sceptile. But he's actually going to lead with the last thing that I expected, and that was Latios. So I have to switch out immediately into my Bisharp to take this Draco Meteor and threaten him back with a potential Dark move. And that Draco Meteor is going to do over 50% to my Bisharp. So Bisharp's not going to be able to switch in on Latios very well for the rest of the game. But I am going to be able to take another one if he goes for it because of the special attack drop. So I am going to go for a knockoff on anything that might want to come in, as he reveals to be a Screens Latios. And because of the Reflect, he's going to be able to survive the knockoff. So as he's going to go for his second screen, I'm going to get up a free Swords Dance and kill him on the next turn with Sucker Punch. I could have set up another Swords Dance, but I didn't want to risk him going for Draco Meteor and critting me and killing me, because that wouldn't have been worth it. As you see, as Rotom comes in, I'm going to knock off the Citrus Berry, which is huge. And Bisharp's going to be able to weaken this Rotom quite a bit, as he is going to burn me, so my next knockoff is going to be doing considerably less. But Bisharp's putting in the work in this match, dropping the Latios and getting huge damage off on this Rotom. So he's going to confuse Ray me on the next turn. I mean, that's annoying, but it's fine. Because Bisharp's attack stat is so high now, it's going to die from confusion at that range. So I'm fine with letting my Bisharp go down. It did its job, it took out the Latios, and it did a tremendous amount of damage to this Rotom. So now I get a free switch into Sceptile, the Rotom Wash counter. I am very surprised that he stayed in here, because if I went for a substitute, he was not going to be in good shape. I guess he could have switched in Sylveon, and he would have been able to hit me through my substitute with the sound-based Hyper Voice, but I was expecting him to switch, so I just went right for the Leaf Storm, expecting the Sylveon switch, and I missed it, which is pretty annoying, as he's going to be able to confuse ray me. But I know that the only other thing that he can do is Will-O-Wisp me, so I can switch in my Victini and knock out the Rotom with U-Turn and get some initiative of my own. I'm going to U-Turn into my Landorus so I can get my Stealth Rocks up, because he does have a Charizard on his team, and his only potential way to get rid of the Stealth Rocks, being Defog on Latios, is now dead. So I can get Stealth Rocks up on anything, as he brings in the Charizard, and he's going to play this game with me. Do I Mega Evolve? Do I not Mega Evolve? Are you going to Earthquake? Are you going to Stone Edge? I clicked Earthquake on the first. Turn, because if I went straight for Stone Edge, then the Charizard would have gone down. But if he Mega Evolved and I went for Stone Edge, he would have survived. But he's going to be able to get a free Dragon Dance up. And thank God for my Citrus Berry, because that allows me to live 2 Fire Punches from the Charizard, and I'm going to be able to take it out with an Earthquake after I missed a Stone Edge on the second turn that it was in. Thank God I was able to take that out in one shot, because otherwise that Charizard could have done a lot of work to my team. But as he brings in his Lando, I'm going to be able to survive the knockoff with 5 HP and get up my Stealth Rocks. Now that the Charizard's down, Lando's done its job. I'm totally fine with letting it going down. And it happens to survive a knockoff, so I got some free Stealth Rocks up. So now with this Lando out, I'm going to bring in Raikou, because I have Hidden Power Ice on this Raikou. And I'm just going to go straight for it. I'm not going to overpredict, as he brings in his Ferrothorn. And he's going to take this Hidden Power Ice like it's nothing. And I see the leftovers, which is good information. It's good to know that it's not Rocky Helmet. It's good to know that I can knock off the leftovers in future games, potentially. But I'm going to go for Volt Switch, because Raikou can't really do anything to this Ferrothorn, and I'm going to switch in my Sceptile as he gets his Stealth Rocks up. So the best way to ensure that I didn't get Thunder Waved was to go into my Sceptile and double switch into my Victini. He hasn't showed me Thunder Wave yet. I don't know if he has it, but he's definitely not going to go for it against the Mega Sceptile. He's just going to Power Whip me, showing me that that's the best thing that he has to hit my Mega Sceptile. He clearly does not have Gyro Ball, otherwise he would have gone for it there. I don't care really at this point about switching in Victini on the Stealth Rocks, because he doesn't have enough resources left to really deal with my Victini anyway. I'm going to be able to smack this Ferrothorn with a V-Create and take it out. And now he's down to only his Sylveon and his Lando, and he's going to bring in his Sylveon right here, and I have no reason not to just click V-Create again. This V-Create is going to destroy this Sylveon. The only downside about this is that I don't get any information other than he's not Choice Scarfed with this Sylveon. I don't get to see what its item is or the nature of its set, but I mean, I'll take a free knockout. Now he's going to be able to bring in his Landorus. It's his last Pokemon, so I'm totally fine with letting Victini go down to this Earthquake. I still have Mega Sceptile and Keldeo and Raikou with Hidden Power Ice in the back. So as he knocks out my Victini, I'm going to decide to bring in the Raikou, because I had an inkling that this Landorus was going to be Assault Vest, and as you see how well it takes that Hidden Power Ice, it is definitely Assault Vest. So it was important that I went out to Raikou before going out to Keldeo, so I could confirm for future games that Lando was Assault Vest, and plus I just needed to see how much Hidden Power Ice would do for future games. So it's going to do about 55 to 60% to the Landorus, and now after he takes my Raikou out with an Earthquake, I am just going to bring in the Keldeo and knock it out with a Scald. Another reason why I didn't want to switch in my Keldeo initially was because I didn't. If he was in fact Assault Vest and I went for Scald and didn't kill him, then he would have found out that I was leftovers and not some kind of choice. So that's really important because in best of 3, any bit of information that you can get or withhold from your opponent is vital. So the fact that he doesn't know whether my Victini is choiced or not is beneficial to me in future games. And another something that he did that was good as well, because when he was down to just Landorus and Ferrothorn and Sylveon, the game was pretty much lost for him at that point. So after Ferrothorn went down, he could have easily switched in Landorus and he would have outsped me and gotten the Intimidate off, and potentially, and he would have taken me out with an Earthquake. But instead, he switched in his Sylveon to gauge whether I was choice banded or not with Victini. And I don't know whether non-choice banded Victini would have taken out the Sylveon, but if it didn't, then he definitely confirmed for himself that my Victini was choice banded. So that's a good play. The mind games, it's not really mind games, but information is valuable in best of 3 is the point. So I'm going to take game 1. I still have to beat him one more time if I'm going to become the new champion. So I've still got a long ways to go. 1 win is great, but 0 is a phenomenal opponent, and I'm going to have to stay on top of my game to be able to take him down. So stay tuned for game 2, and that's all for this video. Thanks, guys.